Alright, so we're back in my Panther. We're on the Eastern European map. This is one of the maps that has just been released in the last couple patches in War Thunder. And it's a fantastic map. It's, your spawns are pretty close to the city. You can choose to drive around the outskirts if you want, but just generally, in the most part, I like to head into the city. Because it's good to have the cover to get hull down if you need to. So I'm driving up here and end up spotting a Panzer IV, put a shot into him, and take him down with that shot right there. Went right through the front, absolutely hammer annihilated him, and he was down. You can hear a little bit of the machine gun fire. Sounds freaking awesome. So I saw that we were capping C, so I decided to get up beside the cap zone over here and try and overwatch the position a bit. So I got into this position and I just decided I was going to watch anything that was going to come through here to try and support this T-34. So I'm looking around and I don't see too much going on. So I decided to go up and peek up around the corner a little bit. But as I'm doing that, let's see if there's stuff happening to the right. So I'm looking down. There, don't see too much yet, so I'm going to go forward a bit. The Panther's reverse speed is god-awful, but I spot a KV-1, so I'm going to put a big shot into him, do some pretty good damage to his turret, but then I also spot there's an ISU-152 to the right, so I'm like, God, come on, reload, 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 so I'm going to get a shot into him right now. So that goes in and mangles a lot of stuff on his tank, which is great. And I wanted to shoot him again, but he started moving forward and I didn't have a shot, so I put one more shot into that KV-1 and you can see him explode. And now there's a BT-7 that is driven into the cap and he's capping our area, so I've got to put some shots on him if I can, but then I spot a Panzer IV. So I aimed for his machine gun port and put a shot through that and hammer him, take him down. And I'm going to reload again. And put one into the engine on this BT-7, which completely immobilizes him so he can't move. And before I can kill him, our T-34 comes around, takes him out, but I just put another shot into him anyway. Just for fun. As you can see, look at that reverse speed. Brutally slow. So I'm going to go forward again. But then I start hearing that wonderful bomb sound, which makes me want to pull forward, so I end up pulling forward and moving up with this T-34. I'm going to weave around a little bit, get through this area here, and I knew there was a tank to the right, but I saw our T-34 going around, so I figured he could probably handle it, so I'm going to come this way, but then I take a shot from the left, and it ends up being from a Sherman 105, so I angle my armor to about 45-degree angle, put a shot into his upper plate, but I don't actually pen him. So I'm going to pull back, make sure I'm still angled. Turret takes a shot, and before I can get another shot in, I got a tank destroyer that rolls around on me. And no, I've never fired at one of these tanks before. This is one of the premium L70 kind of Panzer IV tank destroyer tanks, and I shoot him in the lower plate, but instead it bounces right off into the ground. And I got a T-50 shooting me from the right now, and I get my driver wounded, so I can't move, but I'm gonna put a shot straight in through the front of his tank, which mangles his transmission and his engine, and I'm taking shots from the right from the T-50 there, but ended up winning anyway. It's a pretty fun game, and just in general it was a lot of fun. Okay, so we're back in the Panther, and we're on Poland this time, and I'm heading around to the left to try and support this tank destroyer. So I'm going to play fairly conservatively at this point, because I just thought that's how I was going to play this game. Because I've been playing really aggressively before, and it doesn't really work so good, especially when you get shot in the sides. So I really just wanted to hang out by the front of the cap here and kind of overwatch this road. End up running into an SU-122, so I put a shot into him, but it doesn't kill him. Pull forward again, and that does. That does quite a lot of damage to him. But he backs up off and around the corner, so I'm just gonna keep overwatching the road, but I can't see down the road because of there's so much smoke and debris and everything. And eventually, I'm gonna pop out around a little bit more to see if I can get an angle on him, but I don't quite see him. But then he pops out again, and I put a shot into him, and that ends up taking him down. So, nice big shot into there, and you can see he's still driving forward. He crashes into that lump of stuff. And I'm still overwatching. Oh, and then the KV2 pops around the corner, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. And I back up around the corner. I put a shot into him. He didn't die. So I crush this little pavilion. Falls apart. And then I take a shot inside from this T-34. So I can stop. After I get a little bit more angled. Put a big shot right through his turret. And that was the end of his day. As you can see, they've really done a good job on the breaking, the havoc type physics stuff on some of the objects in the game. Stuff falls and breaks apart pretty realistically. It looks quite nice. It reacts with the tank, it reacts with the other pieces, and then falls apart. It works out pretty good. So I'm not quite sure how I knew he was going to come around the corner. I saw him drive by previously, and that's why I took that previous shot, but I couldn't get him between those two slivers of the buildings. So I put a shot into him, and now I'm backing up and seeing if I can get around, see if I can see him without him really getting too much of a shot at me, but it doesn't really look like I'm going to get that shot. And I'm figuring at this point there's guys coming around to my front and to my left that are going to be engaging this guy. And I did a lot of damage to him, so I was pretty sure if I went out again, I was going to be able to hit him and probably kill him. So I'm going to pull out again and come around, and he's got his turret completely backwards to me, so I hammer a shot into him and do a lot of damage. Injured his crew members, took lots of shots into his ammo there, and he starts turning his turret again, and I just hammer him into his turret ring, and that was enough to take him out. So now I'm just going to get the tank turned again. I thought there might be a tank rolling through this spot here. I was just playing fairly passively at this point. But then I noticed that they were capping us, and my team really wasn't trying to do a heck of a lot about it. So I pull around the corner, and immediately there's a TD. So I stop and I aim. I didn't have to bounce too much from the shot, and ended up mangling his engine pretty good with that shot, and he just kind of coasts to a stop in the cap zone. So I'm going to get fully loaded, and I'm going to pop around again and put another shot into him. And he's not going to be able to take too many more of these because that's hitting him in his armor, it's hitting him in the gun, it's damaging him pretty good. And I apologize for the sound cutting out a little while ago. I'm having issues with my GeForce drivers and shadow play. I'm not sure why my audio's quitting like at about the 3-minute mark through my videos, but it's just shoddy technology from nVidia. It happens periodically, and I don't know why, but again, I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to roll up here, and I kind of got to do this at this point because I can't just sit back and watch our team die. And I'm going to put a shot right into the back of the turret on this KV2. And I know there's also tanks forward and to the left, so I've got to watch out. So I'm going to try and get tighter in on the KV2 and kind of use him as kind of like a blocker, bit of a meat shield. So he keeps reversing. It's a bit of a bug. And now I'm going to aim in on this KV1. I thought I could get a shot on him, but it doesn't really hit, doesn't really do anything to him. And I've been having a problem with the game recently where this stuff has been happening. I take a shot at this Panzer IV and absolutely nothing. I didn't know if it hit that rock wall. It didn't blow the rock wall apart, so I just assumed that it ghost shelled or there was a latency problem or something. But right now my cannon barrel's damaged again, which is a systemic problem with this game and the Panther and the German tanks in particular. But my happy days were about to come to an end because, as you can see in the map, everyone around me is dead, and I'm the only one trying to capture the zone. So I capture the zone, but then I get taken out by an Su-152, and that Panzer IV would come around. So I ended up dying. But the game was still fun. Thanks for watching.